You left your cat outside, it's public property. Pippa, no? Yes. That's not how cats work, Pippa? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If you leave your cat outside, especially if it's like going into other people's yards and stuff, if your cat is like, by some miracle, 100% of the time staying in your yard, okay. But 0% of the time does that ever happen. Because no person leaving their cat outside is ever installing like invisible barriers for their cats. They're never doing anything like that, and no cat is ever staying in the person's yard. I'll take no. If you leave an animal outside, it's not yours anymore. Also, thank you. It's stealing if it has a collar. I disagree. I'm not going around yoinking people's cats, but let's be 100% realistic about this situation, chat. If you leave an animal outside, that is not your animal. Cats outside are strays. They absolutely are. This is very untrue. No, this is very true. Super Hazel, thank you. There are no outdoor cat owners. They're just neglectful owners. I agree with that. Depends on how rural you are. Okay, if it's an actual barn cat, if you have livestock and the cat is performing a job, that's different. I will say, I do think that is different. How is that different? Because that's an animal performing a job. That is a tool on your property that most of the time is not going to be going into other people's yards or anything. It's going to be hunting on like its territory. Mountain Man Mike, thank you. You parked your car outside, it's public property. A car is not a living creature. A car doesn't need to protect itself from other animals. A car isn't susceptible to being hit by other cars when it's parked on its own, unless like a fucking like a crazy person hits it. But anyways, it's not a living creature, so who the fuck cares, right? A car is not going to die getting hit by another car. A car is not getting eaten by coyotes or hawks or people's dogs outside running around, other stray animals. A car does not need food and water and shelter from harsh elements. Lincoln, thank you. You step outside to drive your public property. I'm gonna fucking beat you up. People are gonna come up with like all these fucking hypotheticals like, oh, but what if my cat has a collar and I only take it outside for supervised visits? Well, obviously that's different. If your cat is living outside, it's not your cat. People don't know how cats work. I think it's more like, I'm gonna be an asshole about this. Like, I don't know how many of you guys just go for walks and stuff, but you would be surprised how many dead cats you will just find on the side of the road, in the road. You'd be surprised how many bird feeders, like hummingbird feeders, how many like normal bird feeders, like bird houses, end up getting predated upon by unrelated neighbors' cats. That is your fault if you leave your cat outside. That is your fault. 100%. It is your fault if your cat dies from getting hit by a car because you left it outside. That is your fault. And no amount of bullshit of, oh, but cats belong outside because they want to go outside. You know what else wants to go outside? Your fucking dog wants to go outside. Okay? That doesn't mean you leave it outside. That doesn't mean that you don't attempt to contain your animal so it cannot wander off. The problem is cats are owned by very, very lazy people. Cat people are some of the laziest motherfuckers around, and that's why they like cats, because they like owning a dog without having that sense of responsibility over it. It's neglect disguised as compassion. It is. I think if you want to go around taking cats that are outside and go take them to the shelter, I do not care, because you're probably sparing that cat a horrible fucking fate. That's not necessarily true, but okay, it is true. You left your animal outside unattended. It got hit by a car. That is your fault. If your cat escaped past you when you opened the door and got hit, all right. Like, there's exceptions. Your cat is an indoor cat, but it got loose. It's an accident, whatever. But if you're leaving your cat outside, yeah. Irresponsible cat owners exposed, true. I implore you to enrich your cat's life indoors. Brad, thank you. If a dog owner leaves their dog outside, they get the cops called on them for animal abuse. Cat owners thinking is normal is insane. It is. It is. People will see a dog that lives outdoors and they'll be like, oh, that's pretty fucked up. They don't even bring the dog inside when it's raining. And then with the cat, it's just like, oh, well, it's a cat. It'll find shelter. Bro, it's gonna fucking sleep on somebody's tire and potentially get rolled over in the morning. Anyways, back to this. I don't want to stay on this topic, man.
Like some kind of
Mwah! Mwah! Okay, get out of here. here. Get out of here. Okay, bye-bye.